All right, next we're going to look at the greatest common factor, or another word for that is greatest common divisor. The greatest common divisor is the largest number that's a divisor of two or more numbers. We can use the latter method to find the GCD by dividing each number by common divisors until there's nothing in common that goes into each. And then the product of those numbers that we use to divide, that is going to be our GCD. So let's take a look at an example. I've got 42 and 96. I want to find, well, what's the largest number that's going to divide into 42 and 96? Well, I know 2 goes into both of these. 2 goes into 42 21 times, and into 96 48 times. And then 3 will go into 21 and 48, and it'll go into 21 7 times, 48 16 times. The only thing that will divide evenly into 7 and 16 is 1. So I found my greatest common divisor. I just need to multiply 2 and 3 together. So my GCD is 6. Next, let's take a look at 24 to the 5th and 32 to the 3rd. I'm going to just worry about the coefficients for right now. So I'm going to divide here. I know 4 will go into 24 and 32. 4 goes into 24 6 times, and into 32 8 times. And then I know 2 will also go into 6 and 8. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and into 8 4 times. So my GCD of my coefficients is going to be 4 times 2, and that's 8. But now I have the variables to consider. So one of the things that's helpful here is if we just think about what does a to the 5th really mean, right? We know that really means a times a times a times a times a, right? I've got 5 a's. And a to the 3rd, that's just a times a times a. Well, then ask yourself, well, what do these have in common? Well, they share this in common, a times a times a. So that is the greatest common divisor of the variables, a to the 3rd. So the way I'll write my final answer here, the greatest common divisor of 24a to the 5th and 32a to the 3rd, the largest number that will divide into both of those evenly is going to be 8a to the 3rd. Okay, here are some problems for you to practice. Please solve them and then see if you get the same answers I do. All right, I want to find the prime factors of 76. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 76 and I'm going to divide here. I know 2 goes into 76. All right, 2 is going to go into 76 38 times. 2 will go into 38 19 times. And 19's prime, so the only thing except for 1 that goes into 19 is 19. So my prime factors of 76 are 2 squared times 19. You can look at 140 here. I know 2 is going to divide into 140 70 times. 2 will go into 70 35 times. And then 5 will go into 35 7 times. The only number except for 1 that goes into 7 is 7. And so my prime factors for 140 are 2 squared times 5 times 7. Finally, I want to find the greatest common divisor of these numbers here. So I'm going to take 54 and 126, and I'm going to divide them by 2. I'll get 27 and 63. I know that 9 goes into 27 and 63. 9 goes into 27 3 times, and into 63 7 times. The only common factor with 3 and 7 is 1. So my greatest common divisor is the product of 2 and 9. So I multiply 2 times 9 together. My GCD is going to be 18. And last but not least, we have 36m to the 3rd and 60m squared. I know that 6 will divide into 36 and 60. So 6 goes into 36 6 times, goes into 60 10 times. And I know that 2 goes into both of these, so I get 3 and 5. Nothing goes into 3 and 5 except for 1, so my GCD for the coefficients is going to be 6 times 2, which is 12. Now I want to look at my variables, m to the 3rd, right? Remember that means m times m times m. M squared means m times m. And what do they share? What's the most amount of m's they share? Well, they share m squared. So my GCD is going to be 12, and then the variable piece, m squared. And that's how we find prime factors and the greatest common divisors.